Check this out. With all matters relating to Saturn, a critical point is reached every 29 and a half years when it returns to the sign position in which it was placed at the time of your birth. This is a life progress report. When entering outer pressure serves to demolish what is weak in you and consolidate what is strong. It's called a Saturn return. Look it up. Google. Peace. What it is. Today is January the 16th. I'm gonna say happy anniversary to my wife. Been together 18 years today. So love you, baby. Happy anniversary. Not married 18 years. We've been together 18 years. So the sun is 26 degrees Capricorn. The moon 10 degrees Pisces. Mercury is 13 degrees Aquarius. Venus 10 degrees Cap. Mars 4 degrees Taurus. Jupiter 6 degrees Aquarius. And Saturn, as today is Saturday. Today is Saturn's day. We're going to be going in on Saturn being in Aquarius. We got 3 years of Saturn in Aquarius. So we're going to go in. I'm going to read a little bit today on that. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto still in their same spots. The sun transited Pluto the other day. I didn't do a video about it because, to be real, I wasn't paying attention. But that's actually for the best, because hindsight being 2020, I believe it's better to use astrology for the past than attempting to look at the future. If you have an idea of the future because of astrology, then that kind of defeats the purpose, because essentially astrology is about the lower self. Okay, the zodiac is the lower self. You're attempting to rise above this zodiac. Okay, once again, you are the dot in the middle. This is that pineal gland, and these are the windows in which you experience life. So, real quick, from this book, Fresh for Order, Dr. Aline Melpay. It's long. It's long. All right, this is your brain. This is your brain on astrology. The pineal gland in the center. The sustainer of this realm is the pineal gland, the lamb, and he is surrounded by his 12 disciples, or the 12 convulsions of the brain, or the 12 spiritual centers of the brain that regulate to the 12 major pairs of cranial nerves which pass from under the surface of the brain through the openings of the cranius to reach the organs in the man's body. Okay? The 12 cranial nerves. There they are. And this is astrology. You understand me? Life. So, when you say Capricorn energy, you know, that's my placeholder though. We the typical definition or interpretations will take you to something business related. But essentially, what the Capricorn energy is, and what all of these signs are, is the way in which your brain deals with those types of topics, or those areas of life, I should say. So when we talk about our career, what are we talking about? We're talking about our long-term plans to keep money in our pockets, essentially, right? So what we talking about there is the aspect between Capricorn and Cancer. We talking about one sign and a straight line in between the two, because Cancer rules nurturing self. That's motherhood. Capricorn represents bettering self. That's Capricorn. That's fatherhood. So when we talking about our career, we're talking about bettering ourselves in the future and ensuring that we are always nurtured and always taken care of, which is the opposite sign. Or if we're facing outward, if you will, it is the sign behind us. Okay, so you understand we're talking about two sides of 6 signs. 6 signs. Okay, when we're talking about the zodiac. And that is important because you understand that 6 is the carbon atom, which is the life-giving principle, which is the 666 of the Bible, which is Satan, which is the body, the brain, the zodiac. Okay? So when we say this stuff, Libra represents relationships. We're not talking about go look at your Libra sign. Also, go look at what's in Libra in your chart, and that's who you're going to marry or something like that. It don't work like that. You have a relationship with anybody you're standing in front of. You understand what I'm saying? Whether you intimately know that person or not is irrelevant. You're having a relationship if you're having an interaction with them. Okay, so that aspect of life is Libra, whether you marry them or not. You understand what I'm saying? Just that, because it's never there's future and past don't exist. You're only in the present. So these energies in this sign, this zodiac is always going on. Doesn't matter what time it is. Doesn't matter where the sun and the moon is. You have all of that within you. And the ideology is to stand above that. You see, Jesus told Satan, get thee behind me. Okay? I need you to get behind me. Push me along while I do my work. Working for the Father. Okay? God, the soul. Okay? So, I soapbox, but let me go to the lesson of the day. Okay, so the lesson of the day is Saturn and Aquarius. We got 3 years of Saturn and Aquarius coming up. Okay, so let's go. Let's see what we're talking about. Saturn Aquarius, the essence, tested and liberating. The practical idealist redemption is. This position of Saturn makes for a complex set of rules in life. Because somehow you want freedom and order all rolled up together. You can get into a bind when you find yourself and others struggling against the very principles that you devised in order to obtain your liberation. You then make adjustments that will accommodate your actions and those of others. This pattern continues until another adjustment has been made, then another, until you are seemingly surrounded by ideals and circumstances that are painfully at odds with one another. This right here describes this COVID-19 shit. They constantly give you a different reason for you to do something that makes absolutely no sense. And now you are surrounded by ideals and circumstances that are painfully at odds with one another.
Welcome to the Shit Show. I'm your host, Tony Rodriguez. Los Angeles County officials are advising essential workers to wear masks at home to avoid further spread of COVID-19. You gotta wear it at home so you can protect yourself from yourself. And wear a mask at all times. That's what they're recommending. Going in the shower, wear a mask. You gotta take a shit, wear that mask. You might catch AIDS. You might catch cancer. You might even get some bump on the lip. Who knows? You never know what you can catch from yourself.
Like that. So, truly, to free yourself from whatever is inhibiting you, which is the task of Saturn and Aquarius, you need first and foremost to identify what it is from your past conditioning that is preventing you from contacting or maintaining a constant flow of emotion. For this is what lies at the root of your difficulty in finding freedom, and not some external factor in your present life. A very likely source of this dilemma will be father or father figure who did not give you a clear sense of authority or affection because he did not recognize you as an individual in your own right. Okay, anybody that's 28, 29 years old, okay, you are about to experience a Saturn return. 28, 29. Also, if you are about 56, 57, same thing. You about to experience a Saturn return. Get in your chart, look that up. Do you have father issues? Okay. Doesn't necessarily mean y'all in a bad situation. You could put too much power of your emotions into your father. If you're a grown person, the way your father feels about you really shouldn't mean anything other than, hopefully it's positive. But if it's negative and you 30, 40 years old and you still holding on to some my daddy didn't love me stuff, then you're gonna be held back in life because you're gonna have some issues. See, so that's what it's about. Like I say, it ain't necessarily good or bad, but it's something. It could be something related to your father. Now, we can get back to it. I'm so back. So you now create certain principles, be they moral, political, psychological, whatever, as a substitute for the lack of a strong feeling about yourself, your rights, and your place in this world. Indeed, these intellectual concepts can develop into real ideologies and a scientific and partial view of life, which in turn can serve you and society well in the professional but non-emotional areas of life. However, the freedom that you are striving to make a reality will not become so until you tear down all those social concepts and rationalizations about yourself and life and get right down to the wood, which is real, unique you that was originally seen as just plain odd. The challenge is to transform the odd into the ordinary, but not at the expense of your natural
peculiarity,
which are the hallmark of individuality. What follows from this transformation is your becoming a very solid example not only of the supreme power of individuality, but also of the fact that one is redeemed simply through being what one essentially is. Be yourself. Goddamn. Don't let everybody else tell you who to be. Be yourself. Okay? Don't follow the group. You're odd for a reason. Okay? Share this with you real quick. Positive and negative signs of it. Scientific could be pseudoscientific, open-minded, bends rules. Okay. Check this out. With all matters relating to Saturn, a critical point is reached every 29 and a half years when it returns to the sign position in which it was placed at the time of your birth. This is a life progress report. When entering outer pressure serves to demolish what is weak in you and consolidate what is strong. It's called a Saturn return. Look it up. Google Saturn return in Aquarius. A lot of y'all about to go through this. A lot of y'all got Saturn. If you around 30 years old, 28, 29, or 56, 57, 58, something like that, you're having a Saturn return. Okay, if you're in your 50s, late 50s, it's your second Saturn return. So whatever happened to you around the time you was 28, 29, whatever the issue, whatever the underlying issue was then, if you didn't solve it then, it's gonna come back up now. All right, that's life. It is what it is. So lastly, I'm gonna share this last tidbit from a different astrological book. Saturn in Aquarius. In the humanitarian sign of Aquarius, Saturn's qualities of trustworthiness and self-discipline are well placed. As a Saturn Aquarian, you have a talent for dealing with people and appealing to the masses. Many of you achieve fame in both entertainment world and politics because of this ability. Saturn in Aquarius enhances a rational and original mind capable of learning and studying, like those with Saturn in other fixed signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio. You are likely to encounter obstacles and difficulties early in life. This is true. Mine is in Scorpio. But you tend to gain wisdom and maturity that serves you well as you get older. Facts. You like to run the show and get your own way. You are clever about manipulating people, so you can be obstinate and cunning at the same time. Saturn gives you the aggressiveness to take leadership, but you know how to avoid rubbing others the wrong way. You have a humor, and that's because Aquarius is about the people, so you know people. You have a humor and wit, though you need for independence sometimes. Though your need for independence sometimes leads to a lonely life. Natives of this Saturn position are prone toward injuries to the lower legs and ankles. So you see the duads of the day. I think Venus being 10 degrees Cap is in its own. It's in a Taurus duad. That's very interesting. And then the moon is 10 degrees too. They were actually trying now. FYI, whatever you was doing today around this time, around 12, 1 o'clock. And it's always best, in my opinion, to use astrology to look at the past as opposed to trying to look at the future, because, hindsight is 20/20, and the future doesn't even exist. You know, you could possibly affect the future, right? Trying to manipulate it to fit some astrology reading you heard. You see what I mean? That's why I don't really, agree with that type of. I mean, I don't say agree with it. I just don't. I don't see the point of it. You understand? I personally I use astrology to look at the past, okay, to see the energies of then, and then I can understand the now. I'm not too concerned with the future. You know what I mean? Other than a couple hours from now. You see? So, but at the same time, you do have to have that long term planning in life in general. You know, Capricorn energy. Like, where the hell is the future of America, of United States of America? My God, it's ridiculous. But peace and love, y'all. Take it easy.